Alright guys, here we go. Second video in our new existence as the mobile human experience. Now in last week's video, we actually went over something called Rule 8510. Now if you want to take a look at that video, you can go ahead into our description down below after you watch this one. But today's video will be on something called skill versus pace. Now I'm going to let Matt handle the pace portion with you, but I'll be discussing skill. Here's basically what skill is. Skill is your foundation. When we're talking about working on your skill, we're working on the quality of your movement. We're going to go ahead and use running as a delivery method to make it easier to understand. So in order to tie this in together for you, I'm going to go ahead and utilize something called good form running. Good form running was developed a few years back by New Balance in order to help runners develop their run form and at the same time give them a buffering system just in case they're not going to remember all the little tidbits. Now there are 4 tenets to good form running: posture, the foot strike, which is a mid-foot strike, your cadence, and the last would be a forward lean. Let's go over the posture for a second. So with your posture, you basically want to make yourself as tall as possible, and at the same time you want to expand your rib cage. This way you are fighting against gravity and you're also getting more oxygen in your system because you have more capacity. Up next is a mid-foot strike. So the mid-foot strike is well known among runners. What you're basically going to do is go from the ball of the foot to the heel when you're running. It sounds weird that you're creating this action here, but the basic idea is that you are dissipating the initial force with your arch of your foot, pretending this is a foot, and then as you're pulling back, you're lengthening and you're using your posterior muscles to go ahead and absorb more of the shock. So it's ball the foot heel, ball heel, or some people like to say toe heel. I like to say ball heel because you have a little bit more structure. Up next is your cadence. Your cadence is basically your rhythm and timing of your steps and your breathing. And you can easily understand your rhythm by downloading an app on your phone, basically a metronome, right? And you can have it tick the beats for you, and you'll be able to just step on the beat. Or just listen to a song at the recommended beat. The last piece, we're going to look at the lean. Because we're going through locomotion and we're going forward, we don't want to fight against ourselves, so we're actually going to use gravity to help us. And all you're going to do is lean forward, right, and let gravity take you. Now, how do we put this all together? What I'm going to do is demonstrate while on the treadmill. Alright guys, so here we go. I'm on a treadmill.
Alright guys, so the first thing we're working on is posture. I'm just lengthening my muscles, keeping my arms by my ears above my head, using the back to decrease the force that I'm putting on my lower extremities. So now we're on the mid-foot strike. You can see I'm going ball, heel, ball, heel. You can notice that I'm now starting to lengthen my legs as I'm going to help dissipate that energy and that force as I'm moving forward. Okay, up next is the cadence. My whole goal is to work at a rhythm or BPM in which I can keep the movement pattern without putting too much force onto the ground or my own body. Finally, we get to the forward lean. It's really simple. We are going to lean forward at the ankles and let gravity assist us by pushing us forward towards the ground in front.
This is an easy way to build out your skill level using a treadmill so I can focus on the movement quality in a pace that was viable to keep it in good form. Now I'm going to turn this over to Matt and he's going to discuss with you more about the pacing portion.
Those are your building blocks, guys. What John is talking about is building a strong running platform, a good base to build off of. And if you take the time and you get it right, that's really going to pay off for you. Injury prevention, just overall health and well-being, it's going to set you up for success. When we talked about this, our intention was to do skill versus pace or skill and pace in the same video, but you guys can see there's just way too much content here. So John took this week, he gave you guys a bunch of info on skills. Next week I'm going to go into pace progression. So that is going to include kind of the do's and don'ts, some common misconceptions when people start to move past that fundamental stage, the base building stage, and when they want to dial up that pace. There's a lot of misconceptions there that we will explore. And then I also want to share with you guys 2 of my favorite drills or workouts when it comes to increasing pace and increasing endurance. So stay tuned for that. Good night, guys. We'll see you next week. Be safe out there.
Before I officially send you off, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video.